Hey guys, welcome back. Kane Severance. We just finished building our character, the Kinsai Magus, and we are about to see what this is all about. The road to glory. Let's continue. Nice lighting. I like that.
Where are they? This is taking forever. They didn't even say what this was for, just that the Aldori were looking for heroes. Who are the Aldori anyway? Rich folk?
Why, yes we are.
If you can't be patient, no one's keeping you here. Just go back to your mountains or whatever hole you crawled out of. The Aldori Sword Lords run the premier school for the dueling arts. They're also the richest and most influential group in this part of Brevoy. Take that tone with them, and they'll teach you some manners pretty quickly.
Yeah, I like these little pop-ups. Give you lore. I'm not going to read all these out loud. That would just take too much time. Sorry, I know most of the lore type stuff already, so yeah. I hope you guys buy and play this game, and if you're interested in the lore, feel free to read all this stuff. It is good lore. It's just, yeah, I'm not going to take the time.
All right, you purple toad, just shut your trap. And if you can't, I'll help you.
I love Amiri.
Hush! Quiet! They're coming.
Greetings, everyone. I am Sword Lord Jamandi Aldori, and this is Lord Mayor Yosef Salimius of Restov. Welcome to my mansion.
Thank you.
We thank you from the bottom of our hearts for responding to our call. You may be few, but that's unavoidable. We need only the best of the best for this task. And I see true heroes before me, strong and fearless, exactly what Restov needs.
Thank you, Lord Mayor. Now, to the point. South of here, just beyond Brevoy's border, lies a region known as the Stolen Lands. This is disputed territory, and while it's long been claimed by nearby states, it's never been truly taken. I won't bore you with the legal technicalities. Suffice to say that anyone with enough courage and power to seize the Stolen Lands and name themselves Baron or Baroness, claiming dominion, well, none of the neighboring states would be able to challenge it. Of course, Restov would be first to recognize the legitimacy of this new state, as well as the noble title of its founder.
How generous.
Unfortunately, one serious obstacle stands between you and this title. A gang of bandits holds sway in the Stolen Lands. Their chief, who they call the Stag Lord, considers himself the rightful owner of these lands, and no one has yet been able to challenge his power. Bring me his head, and you'll be able to return to the Stolen Lands as their legal ruler. Any questions?
Yes, actually. So, I'm going to be kind of trying my best to answer as I think this character would. This guy, I envision he's a kind of haughty, noble. And obviously, we're broke as as anyone else in this group in reality. So maybe he's disgraced or exiled for his cheating in duels with magic. So anyway, even though these are all obviously search for more information questions, if they don't sound like something he would really be interested in, I'm probably not going to ask it. Again, if you want to hear what every option is, I encourage you to buy the game and try it out yourself. Hope that doesn't come across as rude. Just that's what we're doing. Okay, so you're helping us found a barony. What do you gain from such generosity?
Don't ask stupid questions. Why should you even care? What they have to gain and why, that's for Lady Aldori and I to discuss. It's none of your concern. Your only concern is to swing your sword around, or whatever it is you do.
Oh, you don't want me to swing my sword around you, Tartuccio? Is that how you say your goofy name?
Of course, we stand to benefit from this enterprise. But if you're concerned that we intend to rule your country from afar, using you as a front, Well, please know that these concerns are unfounded. Let's just say that we have a strong interest in the region's stability. We have need of a ruling power we can negotiate with, not bandit gangs and monster hordes.
And what rewards can we expect exactly?
And what reward would you seek beyond a noble title and your own lands?
Point?
We'll absorb the costs of preparing and equipping your expeditions. Once you return victorious, Restov will also allocate you a significant sum to provide financial support for you to establish your country. Essentially, we'll help you build your capital. I hope such a reward is satisfactory.
Words, words, words. Significant, financial. I can't fill my belly with pretty words.
Yes, don't worry your pretty little head over it, Amari.
Of course. There will also be an official banquet held in your honor. All of Rostov's high society will gather to celebrate your feat.
So her portrait, I noticed, was one of the available portraits you can choose from. That concerns me. I wonder if we'll run into her doppelganger later in the game.
Now you're talking.
Not that that would be a huge deal. It just, again, I love the art style. I've heard some complaints about it, but I actually really, really like it. And I wish they had more of it. Clear as mud, more like it. It's clear as day.
Excellent. You venture forth tomorrow. For now, you can take some time to get to know one another better. Or you can head straight to your guest rooms to get some rest. You'll find we've already prepared supplies for you there. And thank you again for agreeing to take part in this expedition. I wish you luck.
Thank you again, with all my heart, for replying to this call. The flare in your eyes reveals your courage, the unshakable will that distinguishes true heroes. I look at you, O champions of Restov, and doubt not for a second that you'll be victorious. So venture forth toward your feet. Go, and return in triumph.
This guy's got to get the last word in. So she's a sword lord, which is like a big deal. And he's the mayor. And I think he's probably feeling a little outclassed at the moment. Oh well.
Hi, my name's Lindsay. I'm a bard, though this is my first real adventure. So, shall we go teach this stag lord a lesson?
So, Lindsay. She is very cute. I would love to have a bard. I'm
Likewise.
Kane.
Actually, I also wanted to ask you something. How do you feel about this Tartuccio fellow? I think he's pretty obnoxious personally. He appointed himself head of the team, and he's just after the Baron's crown, or whatever it is barons wear. Doesn't matter. I don't like him. I think you should be team leader. When I first saw you, I couldn't help but think, now here's a real hero. Someone who'll be praised in poems and songs. This is the person I'll write my book about.
Wait, a book?
Damn, I should have led with that. Please, just let me explain.
Please do. Oh my. You know what the trouble with most heroes' biographies is? They're always written years later, based on the tales of, best case, people who saw things from the outside. Worst case, someone heard about it from their brother, who heard about it from their friend, who heard about it from their cousin, and so on, adding a new batch of lies each time. Every time I read about a heroic journey, I think to myself, why didn't they just bring a bard with them to write it all down properly?
And then I thought, I could be that bard. I just needed to find a suitable hero and volunteer to follow along on their glorious adventure. A great plan, huh? And here we are, with a heroic journey lying before us. Who's going to be the hero? Some dwarf who keeps muttering about how we'll all die? Or maybe that horrific scythe lady? Or God's forbid, Tartuccio? No way.
So I didn't even know before I started the little test run a little while ago that there was voice acting in the game. I'm glad there is, but you know, this being from a small Russian developer, I wasn't sure if they'd invest anything into it. I'm fine with the voices I've heard so far, but I don't imagine it's all voiced, as this nice chunk of text represents. I'm not going to probably read all the text if there's going to be a lot that's not voiced. But I will try to paraphrase. How about that? All right, blah, blah, blah. What did you ask? You're going to be the great bard talking about myself, the suitable hero. Yeah, that sounds great. Not a bad plan. It's settled then. I'll accomplish the feats, and you'll write them down.
Deal. All right. I'm going to my room to write about tonight. See you in the morning.
See you in the morning. Okay, so I mentioned, first step on the road to glory. My quill take... whoop, I guess we're not going to read that. Oh, here we are. Blah, 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 blah. But I'm not going to read it out loud. Sorry, guys. Sorry. I am just too lazy. Okay, yeah, so during the character creation video, I talked a little bit about party, and then I said, we'll finish talking about it later. And then I never got back to it. So let's discuss this real quick. Yes, we are a Magus, so we're kind of a little frontliner. We're there to do damage. That's really all we're there to do. We can't soak up a lot of hits. We're hopefully going to be avoiding hits. We're just there to kind of burst the enemies down as best we can. And that potential will grow as we get more spells, as some of our abilities unlock. Why do I have Magic Missile memorized and not? I guess I just randomly picked one? How do I... Spell book. Spells memorized. We're gonna what? Okay, so first level, we don't have Spell Strike yet. If we go over here, character class, we have the Arcane Pool. We've got Spell Combat, which lets us cast and take a swing at the same time. Something we're not going to be doing very often for a number of reasons. I'm not going to get into right this second. We got Candy Defense, so we're starting to get a little bit of that AC bonus. Which, do we see that yet? Do we see that AC? Yes, 18 AC. Ooh, they must have given us some armor. So we'll look at that in a second. Anyway, here we go. Second level Spell Strike. So this is what makes... This is like the really good thing about touch spells and the Magus. Spell Strike lets you deliver your touch spells through your weapon. And if your weapon crits, the spell crits. Now, touch spells can normally have the chance to crit, but that normally only happens on a natural 20. But depending on your weapon, you can actually increase your... Some weapons have a higher threat range. As you can see, the dueling sword has a 19 to 20 threat range. And there we have the +5 attack. Okay, so that confirms it. See how we got that +4 dexterity to attack. Weapon finesse does work with the dueling sword. Yet that's not documented anywhere that I can see in the game, which is, again, is one of those little minor things that add up. It's hard not to. You know, there's so much stuff in this game, so many abilities, and it's hard to make sure everything's documented, but it's also really hard. You know, it's easier for me because I play a lot of Pathfinder, but, you know, for new players that aren't familiar with the feats and abilities and how everything works, it's going to be tough on them. So, you know, maybe, hopefully, some of the things I talk about during these videos, if anybody watches them, will be, you know, to help some people out, give them some ideas on how things work. So anyway, yeah, so that means it basically doubles our chance to crit with spells, plus we're getting our weapon damage on top of it, which is great. So, anyway, point of all that was, since we don't get Spell Strike until second level, there's really no reason that we desperately want to have a touch spell memorized right now. If we're going to be in touch range, I'd rather hit with my sword for D8. Is it D8, D10 damage? I can't remember. D8 damage, then 1d6 damage, plus casting in combat can provoke attacks of opportunity. So let's get something a little more utility. I think we're going to get shield, because I want to have shield memorized. Do I have to drag it? That's another thing. Some things you have to drag, some things you don't. It's not consistent. Minor complaints. I'm actually super excited for what we're doing. Anyhow, oh lord, I'm having trouble staying focused. So yes, what was I discussing? Class, party, that's it. How do I... Ah, uh-huh. That's what I wanted. Party. Good lord. Attention span of a fly. We are a frontliner. We're a frontline damage dealer. We're probably going to want a tankier frontliner, so who can also dish damage. There's no taunting in Pathfinder, so there's no real use in having a super tanky guy that can't do anything, can't hurt anybody, because the enemy has no reason to attack that character. They'll just go around, because even if they take an attack opportunity, who cares? It's going to be for a little really wimpy damage. But we do want someone a little tankier than us that we can let get surrounded and then come up with this guy and hit him from the sides. Do a little flanking maneuver. I mentioned earlier we're also going to want a thiefy type character, someone with trickster and sneak and perception. And honestly, a rogue is standard for that kind of thing, but a bard can also do it very well. And the reason I really want a bard is because Inspire Courage, which is basically their bard song, gets basically, I was going to say exponentially better. It's actually more multiplicatively better. Yeah, I'm not a math major. It gets better. The more characters you've got doing weapon damage. So, because it works with range damage too. So yeah, if we've got like 2 frontliners, maybe an archer in the back shooting, maybe 3 frontliners if we get a cleric of some type, or we're probably not going to have a paladin. I don't think paladin's going to care for us very much. But yeah, so thinking, fighter type, bard definitely. What was her name? Lizzie? We'll see when we get her. She's going to be good. Another frontliner. I'd love to have a Miri. She's similar to our character in that she's a barbarian, so she will dish out the damage, but she doesn't wear a lot of armor, so she's not going to be super tanky. We're also going to need a healer type. Bards get some healing, but not a lot. So probably a cleric of some kind. And then the 5th will be, so let's see, we're our imaginary party here. Fighter, barbarian, or Mary, bard, cleric, and someone else, maybe a ranged type, maybe like an archer build. But that's the one thing I really like about having 5 companions, is that you've got a little bit of freedom there and what kind of classes you want to bring with us. But it's important to consider all that, like, because if we do bring an archer, we're not going to have a 9th level arcane caster, 9 spell levels worth of arcane spells, which would be good to have, a sorcerer or a wizard. So yeah, enough about that. I could go on and on. And we actually do want to play the game at some point. Oh, good lord. I forgot that the dueling sword was 19 to 20 critical threat range, and I really wanted an 18 to 20 for a Magus. That's kind of a big part of the build, because eventually you get improved critical, you double that threat range, and so 19 to 20 doubled goes to 17 to 20, but 18 to 20 doubled goes to 14 to 20, 15 to 20, 14 to 20. 19 is 2, doubled is 4, 20 minus 4, or yeah, 20, 19, 18, 17, good lord, I'm stupid. 3 doubled is 6, so 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 15 to 20. Okay, yeah, so that's a quarter of all your attacks, critting. I thought the dueling sword, see, again, the fact that you can't see anything about the weapon in character creation is a big flaw. So I'm going to off camera get right back to where we are now. Not going to make any different choices. And then I'll pick up the recording from there. So bear with me, please.